Namaste, friends. I'm Heather Wiest with Love Serve Inspire, and today I'll be guiding you through deep devotion, body prayer, all level slow flow. For today's practice, I recommend that you have a journal and a pen or something else to write on and with. Also, if you have any spiritual items that help you connect to God, feel free to bring those along too. I have my mala beads today. If you have 2 yoga blocks, we'll be using them. If not, 2 thick books will work. And then an optional yoga blanket at the end of our practice, or a towel would work great for Shavasana. I'm here to guide you, but you are always your best teacher. So please listen to your body, stay safe, and have fun. We'll begin today's practice on our backs in constructive rest pose. So you're going to go ahead and just transition, coming down onto your backs. If you'd like, body stretch here just to get a nice feel of transitioning into your practice today. Then we'll go ahead and place a bend into the knees. In together. Heart and one hand to the belly. We're going to begin with 2 collective cleansing breaths together. So nice deep inhale in. Let it go through the mouth. Another deep inhale. Complete exhale out. And now allowing the lips to close and coming into our samavriti breath, our equal part breath. So allowing your inhalations and exhalations to be about the same. So finding that smooth, steady breath for you today. Noticing how the body, the mind, and the spirit are showing up today, honoring everything. And beginning to relax the body and the mind. Smooth, steady, equal breaths. And coming into a breath technique I like to call breath prayer. I want you to imagine that God is calling you by name. That God is actually asking you, Heather, what do you want or need? And just noticing what shows up in the heart space and answering God in a simple and direct way. And then I want you to think of your favorite way or name to call out for God. And we're going to combine that with our want, our need, our request. So as you inhale, saying your favorite name for God. And as you exhale, your request or need. Finding that for you. Three more full rounds of breath. And we're gently going to release the breath technique, releasing the arms back down. Bringing the knees into the chest, we're going to be coming up to seated. Coming up to seated, and we're going to find a comfortable seated position. We're going to be taking Yana Mudra today. It's the Mudra of Wisdom. So we're going to go ahead and just place the palms face up on the thighs. And we're going to take the thumb and just place it on the nail tip of the index finger. And the other fingers just relax down. It's said that the thumb represents the spirit and the index finger, the ego. So the spirit is just helping to hold down the ego as we connect and seek God for wisdom. So just allowing the eyes to close. Just allowing yourself to listen. They say that prayer is talking to God, but meditation is taking that time to be quiet and still so that we can listen to what God has to say. So just taking a few breaths here. We're calling your breath prayer and inviting in any other personal intentions for your practice. They could be affirmations, they could be prayers, deep heart longings. And just having an open heart and mind to connect today on a deeper level. We'll draw our hands at heart center, bowing the head into the heart, sealing in your intentions. And we'll softly release the palms, open the eyes. So we're going to be transitioning into child's pose. So if child's pose is not comfortable for you, you can continue to stay in a comfortable seated position. So we're going to take the knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. And we're going to go ahead and release the hips back to comfort. You can always use a blanket behind the seat to help with the knees. And then extending the arms out forward to begin, forehead grounds down. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the palms up towards the sky or the ceiling. And just coming back to that breath prayer. God loves when we talk with Him and just bringing our requests and needs before Him. Three more full breaths. Molasses is a beautiful pose of humility and surrender. Allowing ourselves to surrender and tune in to divine presence, will, and timing. And we're slowly going to go ahead and ground the palms back down. We're going to inhale up into a tabletop position on hands and knees. So making sure your fingers are spread wide. You have the shoulders over the wrist, the hips over the knees, and the feet are relaxed behind you. Coming into rounds of cow and cat. So we're going to inhale, bringing the head and the heart forward. And then exhale, draw the navel to spine and round through the upper back. Continuing with your breath. Inhaling here. Exhale, rounding in, adding in any additional movement that feels good for you. You can wag the hips side to side. You can take some big hip circles, letting it feel good in your body as we begin to join our breath with movement. Allowing this practice to be a moving meditation, connecting deeply. One more full round of breath. And then finding neutral tabletop. We're going to go ahead and extend the right toes back. They stay on the mat to get a nice stretch through the foot and Achilles. Frontal hip points lift here, so begin to feel the lower belly turn on and you feel a nice stretch into that right hip flexor. And then we're going to cross that right foot over the left and gaze over the left shoulder, pushing more into the right palm. You should feel a beautiful stretch all along that right side body. Relaxing through the head, the neck, and the jaw. And then we're going to return back to center and bring the right knee back to the mat. Inhaling the left toes back on the mat, really pushing away with the hands, frontal hip points lift, get that nice stretch in the back of that left leg, especially the calf and the foot area. And then we'll cross over, pushing more into the left hand, looking towards the right. Get a beautiful stretch all along that left side body. And then we're going to inhale back to center, bringing that left knee down. We're going to take puppy dog pose. We're going to keep the hips right over the knees. We're going to bring the hands forward of the mat and go ahead and come on down. If you can rest the forehead down on the mat, wonderful. If not, you can use a block or a towel or a blanket underneath the forehead. So get a nice opening into the upper back, beginning to engage the arms here, upper outer arms turn on. Navel gently drawing into the spine and letting the collarbones broaden here, getting a nice opening. One more full breath. Then we're going to inhale, draw the palms back, preparing for a downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck the toes under. As you exhale, the hips are going to come up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So really pushing down and away with the hands. Tops of the thighs are drawing back and up. And then those front ribs knit together, really solidifying and stabilizing through the torso. Upper outer arms turn on, so you got active arms and you're pushing into every area of the hand, all the knuckles, and especially the base of the index finger and the thumb mound. Finding a strong downward facing dog. We're going to bend into the left knee a lot and then place that right heel down towards the mat, comfortable for you, opening through the back of the right leg. And then we're going to switch, grounding the left heel down, a bend into the right knee. Get a nice stretch. And then grounding both heels down to the mat, pushing the palms down and away. We're going to float the right leg up and back, three-legged downward facing dog. You're going to stay stable through the hands and the shoulders. We're going to bend into that right knee. We're going to open up through the hip, get a nice stretch here. Feel free to just stay here holding, or you can take some circles with the knees. I like to hold personally. Helps me just get a nice stretch. And then we'll straighten through the leg, bring the leg back to neutral, toes point towards the mat. And then we're going to take that right foot up between the hands for a low lunge. We're going to take the left knee to the mat. And if you have blocks or books, you're going to bring them on the inside of the right foot. Just getting a little stretching in before we begin our body prayer practice. So go ahead and just stay upright onto the hands. If you have a deeper variation or don't need to use the blocks, completely fine. Just being mindful of the front knee, keeping it over the ankle, tracking over your foot. Relaxing through the head and the face and the jaw. Allow a nice opening into every area of the hips and thighs. One more full breath. We're going to go ahead and transition back up onto the hands. We're going to be taking a half split, Ardha Hanuman, to open up through the hamstrings. So you're going to flex into the right foot. You're going to ground the heel down. You're going to keep space between the pelvis and the thigh. Take a nice deep inhale with that extended spine, reaching forward, pushing the heel more into the mat and energetically drawing back towards the right glute. So you should feel a nice stretch into your hamstring here. A little micro bend into the right knee is welcome. One more full breath. And we're going to go ahead and ground the right foot down. Blocks can come off to the side. We're going to transition back into the three-legged downward facing dog. So low lunge to begin. Then the right leg will come up and back, and then back to the mat. Good work. All right, we're going to do that on the other side. We're going to float the left leg up and back, three-legged downward facing dog. We're going to bend into the left knee and then open up through the hip. Again, you're welcome to take those circles. I'm just going to hold here, getting a nice opening into my hip flexor and hip. Pushing the hands away, stabilizing through my shoulders. One more full breath. I'm going to straighten through the leg, toes point down towards the mat, and I'm going to bring that left leg through for a low lunge. I'm going to release the right knee to the mat, find my blocks for low lunge lizard. So being mindful of that front knee, keeping it tracking over the ankle and the foot, and I'm going to bring that right leg back a little bit more, coming down onto the forearms, if you can. Any variation here that feels good for your body. 5 full breaths. Softening through the face and the neck and the jaw. One more breath. We'll go ahead and inhale back up, transitioning into that half split. For this practice, if you like to have soft music in the background, if that helps you to deepen your devotion, feel free to bring that along with you here. Spotify, Love Serve Inspire, and I do have a body prayer flow on there, so you're welcome to use it. The heel onto the mat, allowing that heel to draw back towards the left glute, feeling that nice opening in the hamstring. A couple more full breaths. Drawing that navel to spine to support the low back. And then we're going to go ahead and ground the heel into the mat, or the foot into the mat. The blocks can come off to the side. Lifting the right knee off the mat, three-legged downward facing dog. And then we'll find downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So pushing the hands away, tops of the thighs are drawing back and up, arms are engaged, front ribs are hugging in. Nice job. We're going to walk our feet up towards the hands, coming into a ragdoll forward fold. So you can take your feet about hip width distance or a little wider, clasp opposite elbows. You can sway side to side, anything that feels good. You're welcome to interlace the hands behind the back and drawing the shoulders away from the ears for a nice opening. And then lastly, we can interlace the hands gently behind the neck, releasing the elbows down to the mat, getting a nice release for the cervical spine. One more full breath. We're going to bring the hands to the mat, a generous bend into the knees. And we're going to go ahead with a flat back, take the hands to the hips. We're going to come all the way to standing Tadasana. Good job. So we're going to find Tadasana at the top of the mat. So today we're going to be taking 7 complete rounds of Sun Salutations. We're going to be using Sun Salutation A, B, and C, Surya Namaskara. I'll be combining it with intentions and intercessions, and just allow it to be a beautiful moving meditation for you. We're going to go ahead and find Tadasana. Find your mountain pose, allowing the eyes to close. And I want you to recall your breath prayer that we completed or came up with at the beginning of our practice. Your name for God and your request or need. Just recalling that to mind. Our first round is going to be devotion, bhakti, our devotion to God. You can use your breath prayer as we move through our Sun Salutation, or you can just allow this to be a time of devotion and worship. We're going to softly open the eyes. We're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling for your half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, bend the knees. The right leg's going to come back, followed by the left. Feel free to drop to the knees if you need to here. We're going to exhale through Chaturanga all the way to the mat. We're going to inhale for a low cobra, pushing through the tops of the feet, kneecaps lift, elbows hug in. Exhale, back down. We're going to tuck the toes under. You can lift through half or full plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take our left foot up between the hands, followed by the right. Inhaling for our half lift. Exhale, fold. Release your head and neck. Root through the feet, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to be taking this on the other side. For each round, we'll do a complete round, both sides together. Feel free to add anything in that you normally do into your Sun Salutation practice. So continuing with our devotion round. This time I'm going to draw my hands through heart center, a little more meditative. So I'm going to inhale my arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center, allowing that heart space to come forward. So whatever feels most comfortable for you. Inhaling, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the palms, this time left leg back, followed by the right. You can drop to the knees if you need to. Exhale through Chaturanga. Feel free to take the low cobra or transition into upward facing dog. If you're in low cobra, you'll transition through plank. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. So allow yourself to really have that moving meditation as I cue and guide you. We'll take that right foot up between the hands, followed by the left. Inhaling, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Maybe take a gentle back bend here. Urdhva Hasta in Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Samasti Tihi. And allowing the eyes to close. Bringing in the word Selah. It's a Hebrew word that means pause and reflect. Taking a moment to pause, reflect, and listen to divine insight. And we'll softly open the eyes, releasing the palms down, Tadasana. Our second round is going to be devoted to cleansing and forgiveness. So allowing yourself to just close the eyes. It's always good to self-reflect on any area that we may need to seek forgiveness or maybe extend forgiveness or any area of cleansing that may be needed. Just reflecting upon that for a moment. And dedicating our Sun Salutation to that. We'll inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center if that's comfortable for you. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, right leg back, followed by the left. You're in plank pose. Drop to the knees if you need to. Exhale through chaturanga. You're going to come into that low cobra or upward facing dog, strong legs. Transitioning through plank if you're in low cobra. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Full deep inhale and complete exhale. And we'll take that left foot up between the hands, followed by the right. Inhaling for your half lift. Exhale, fold. Root through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up, maybe a gentle little back bend. Drawing the hands down through heart center. Second side. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, forward fold the hands through heart center. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, left leg back, followed by the right. Exhaling through chaturanga. Inhaling, low cobra, upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you're in low cobra. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Allowing yourself to experience true cleansing and forgiveness. You are free. We'll take that right foot up between the hands, followed by the left. Inhaling for the half lift. Exhale, fold. Root through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, draw it all into heart center. Allowing the eyes to close. Selah. Pause and reflect. We'll softly open the eyes, bring the palms back down, Tadasana. For our third round of Sun Salutation A, we're going to dedicate this round to interceding for a loved one. So allowing yourself to close the eyes. And notice who comes to mind first. Visualize your loved one. Through this round, sending prayers and blessings, allowing God to work in their life in a special way through your intercessions. We'll softly open the eyes. We'll inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Lead with that heart as you intercede. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll take the right leg back, followed by the left. Drop to the knees if you need to. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhaling, low cobra, upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you're in that low cobra. We'll all meet in Adho Mukha, Svanasana, downward facing dog. We'll take that left foot up between the hands, followed by the right. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold, let the head go. Root through the feet, sweep the arms up. Little back bend at the top. Exhale, hands to heart, front ribs hugging. Second side, continuing with this loved one. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale down through heart center. Lead with that heart. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, left leg back, followed by the right. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhaling, low cobra or upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you need to. Exhale, downward facing dog. Complete inhale. And exhale. That right foot will come up between the hands, followed by the left. Inhaling, half lift. And exhale, fold. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Little back bend at the top. Exhale, hands to heart. Allowing the eyes to close. Selah. Pause and reflect. Softly opening the eyes, bringing the palms back down, Tadasana. We're going to be transitioning into Surya Namaskara B. And for this round, we're going to dedicate and intercede for a stranger or an acquaintance. So we're going to go ahead and close the eyes. Notice who comes to mind first when you think of a stranger or an acquaintance. God uses us to intercede for others, even if we do not know them very well. So picture that person in your heart and your mind. And as we work through this round, just interceding for them, praying blessings over them, allowing God to move in their life as needed. And we'll softly open the eyes. We're going to bend into the knees, bringing the hands right at the edges of the feet. Inhaling the arms up. Utkatasana first. Strong overhead. Shins shift back in space. Frontal hip points lift. Squat down a little bit more. And then exhale. Forward fold. Inhaling for your half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We're going to take the right leg back, followed by the left. You're in plank pose. Drop to the knees if you need to. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhaling, low cobra, upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you're in that low cobra. Downward facing dog for everyone. We're going to seal the left foot at about a 45-degree angle. And then we're going to bring that right foot up between the hands. Preparing for warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. So inhaling the arms up and overhead. You have a nice bend into that front knee. That back foot is sealing down. If this pose is not comfortable for your hips, feel free to angle a little bit towards the left to be more accessible for your body. We're going to hold here another full complete inhale and exhale as you intercede for that stranger or acquaintance. We'll take the hands to the mat. The right leg will come back. Plank pose. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhaling low cobra. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Everybody meeting in downward facing dog. We're going to seal that right foot at about 45-degree angle. That left foot will come up between the hands, a generous bend into the knees. Preparing for Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Strong pose. Make it strong as we intercede, as we fight battles with our moving meditation, our body prayer. Again, you can always angle more towards the right if you need to for your hips. One more full breath, picturing that stranger, that acquaintance, allowing God to move in their life. We'll take our hands to the mat. Left leg will come back. You're in plank pose. Feel free to always come to down dog if these flows become too much. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhaling low cobra, upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you're in that low cobra. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Complete inhale here. And exhale. We're going to bend into the knees. You're going to gaze forward. You're going to step or float to the top of the mat. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, Utkatasana, fierce pose. One more full breath. Arms will come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Allowing the eyes to close. Selah. Pause and reflect. Softly opening the eyes. Bring the palms down, Tadasana. We're going to be doing another round of Surya Namaskara B. And for this round, we're going to dedicate it and intercede for a challenge, a difficulty, or a pain that we have in our life. So allowing yourself to close the eyes. Picking a challenge, a difficulty, a pain that you're experiencing in your life right now. Allowing God to move through and in this whole situation. Surrendering it. We'll softly open the eyes. We're going to go ahead and bring the fingertips to the outside edges of the feet. Inhaling, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Squatting down. Frontal hip points lift. Shins shift back in space. Arms are strong. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling for your half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll take the right leg back. Followed by the left. You're in plank pose. Dropping to the knees if you need to. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhaling, low cobra or upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you need to. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. We're going to seal that left foot at a 45-degree angle. That right foot's going to come up between the hands. You have a bend in the knee. Ready for Virabhadrasana 1. Inhaling up. Pausing here for a breath or two. Really strong pose. Let it be comfortable in your body. Rooted through both feet. Tailbone lengthens down. Arms are strong. Letting God work through this challenge, this difficulty, this pain. We'll exhale the hands to the mat. That right leg will come back. Plank pose. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhaling, low cobra, upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you need to. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Sealing that right foot at a 45-degree angle. The left foot will come up between the hands. Rooting through both feet. Inhaling the arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. Another breath or two. Talking to God through our movement, through our heart about this challenge, difficulty, and pain. God wants to hear from us. We'll take the hands to the mat. Left leg will come back. Plank pose, dropping to the knees if you need. Exhale through chaturanga, those elbows hugging. Inhaling, low cobra, upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you need. Exhale, downward facing dog. Complete inhale and exhale. We're going to bend into the knees. You're going to gaze forward. You're going to step or float to the top of the mat. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold, release the head. Inhaling up, Utkatasana, fierce pose. You are fierce. With God on your side, you can do anything. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands to heart. Allowing the eyes to close. Selah. Pause and reflect. Softly opening the eyes. releasing the palms down. Between the Sun Salutation and the next, we're going to be doing tree pose, Vrikshasana. It's a great pose to really acknowledge challenges and gratitude. So we're going to go ahead and root through the left foot, that standing leg. And the right foot can come at the ankle, the calf, or you can bring it on up into the inner thigh of the left foot. You just don't want it resting on the knee joint. So you want to push the foot into the leg into the foot. We'll draw our hands at heart center. Find a point of focus. So on this side, still reflecting on that challenge, that difficulty, that pain, and being grateful for the experiences and the growth that we've had through this situation. You're welcome to keep your hands at heart center. If you'd like to grow your tree branches and bring a different expression to the pose, maybe you even take that Yana Mudra, seeking wisdom for the situation, allowing the spirit to hold down the ego. One more breath on this side. Bring the hands back to center and down to the heart. Softly releasing the right leg down. Shaking it out really works that standing leg. We'll take this to the other side. So we're going to root through the right foot. Left foot will come to the ankle, the calf, or you can reach down for it and bring it into the inner thigh. Again, not on the kneecap. Keep your knees safe. And then find a place to gaze forward, hands to heart center. This side, we're going to dedicate to gratitude. Our next Sun Salutation will be dedicated to gratitude. So reflecting on 3 things here that you're grateful for today. 3 specific things. If you'd like to grow those tree branches, bring the arms out. You can take that Yana Mudra, thumb over the index finger. Grateful for so many things. There's always something to be grateful for. One more full breath. Releasing the hands back down to center and back down. Nice job. Finding the top of the mat. Finding Tadasana, closing the eyes. We're going to be working into Surya Namaskara. So many variations of the Sun Salutation. This will be one variation that I will guide you through. This round, we are interceding. We are just expressing gratitude. Whatever comes to mind as you move your body, just grateful for this body, grateful for our minds, grateful for our spirits, able to connect. And we'll softly open the eyes. We'll inhale the arms up and overhead. Coming down through heart center, forward fold. Inhaling for the half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. We're going to take the right leg back. We're gently going to release the right knee to the mat. If that's too much for your knee, feel free to fold your mat over or use a towel or blanket. We're going to inhale the arms up, crescent B pose. One more full breath here. Grateful, thankful, blessed. We'll take the hands to the mat. We're going to bring that left foot back. We're in tabletop. You're welcome to stay here. Release down into child's pose. As we inhale, we're going to slide into low cobra. So classically, chin, chest, belly. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back down. Tuck the toes. You're going to lift through your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And the same foot we came back on is what we come forward with. So that right foot will come up between the mat, followed by the left. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold. Root through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Little back bend at the top. Exhale, hand start. Continuing this attitude of gratitude. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, hands down through heart center, forward fold. Inhaling for the half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, left leg back this time. We're going to go ahead and release the left knee to the mat. We're going to inhale up for crescent B pose. Pausing here for a breath. Exhale the hands to the mat. The right leg will come back. You're in tabletop. Welcome to stay here or release back into child's pose. Inhaling, chin, chest, and belly into low cobra. Exhale, back down. Tuck the toes. You're going to lift through half or full plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot will come up between the hands, followed by the right. Inhaling for your half lift. Exhale, fold. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Little back bend at the top. Exhale, hand start. Allowing the eyes to close. Selah. Pause and reflect. Allow yourself to listen and receive. Softly opening the eyes, returning back to Tadasana. Another round of Sun Salutation C. We're going to close with back to devotion. You can come back to that breath prayer, any other expressions of worship that you would like. Go ahead and just close the eyes. So we've done 7 complete rounds of Sun Salutations. 7 is a special number, said to be the number of wisdom, intuition, rest, and perfection. Recalling your breath prayer, and maybe it shifts or changes a little throughout this practice. Allow it to. Letting this round be full of devotion and worship. Softly opening the eyes. We'll inhale the arms up and overhead. Coming down through heart center, forward fold. Inhaling for your half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, right leg back. That knee will come down. Inhaling, arms up, crescent B pose, pausing for a breath. Allowing the hands to come down. Left leg will come back. You're in table. Child's pose, exhale. Inhaling, sliding chin, chest, belly into low cobra. Exhale, back down. Tucking the toes under, coming through half or full plank. Tops of the thighs draw you back. Downward facing dog. We'll take that right foot between the hands, followed by the left. Inhaling for your half lift. And exhale, fold. Root through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Little back bend at the top. Exhale, hand start. Second side. Inhaling the arms up. Down through heart center. Inhaling, half lift. Let this be a moving, beautiful meditation. palms come down, bend the knees, left leg back, knee down to the mat. Inhaling the arms up, crescent B pose. One more breath here. Hands to the mat. Right knee will come back. Tabletop or exhale, child's pose. Sliding into low cobra. Chin, chest, belly. Inhaling. Exhale down. Toes tuck under. Half or full plank. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Another full inhale. And exhale. That left foot will come up between the hands, followed by the right. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, full. Inhaling, sweeping the arms, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. Allowing the eyes to close. Selah. Pause and reflect. And releasing the palms back down to the sides. We're going to be transitioning into Molasses Squat. We'll just be there for a few breaths, but if you need support underneath the feet, feel free to grab a blanket or towel. So you're going to go ahead and just take your feet about hip width distance. They can either be straight out or out to the side, whatever works best for your hips and thighs. We're going to go ahead and squat on down. If you need to use your blocks, feel free, or a chair even. Just resting for a few breaths here. Allowing the arms to come in to the inner thighs, giving a little push, releasing through our lower back. One more full breath. We're going to be making our way into Crocodile Pose on our belly. So it looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and slowly transition onto my belly. And then the arms come out in front and the palms touch. And the forehead just comes down towards the mat. Another great pose of surrender, humility. I'm just recalling our 7 rounds of body prayer. First round was devotion, our breath prayer. Second round was cleansing and forgiveness. Third round, interceding for a loved one. Fourth round, interceding for a stranger or an acquaintance. Fifth round, interceding for a challenge, a difficulty, or a pain in our life. Sixth round, gratitude. Seventh round, full circle back to devotion or worship, our breath prayer. From here, we're going to come into embryo pose, knees together version of child's pose. We're going to draw the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to inhale on up and go ahead and come into embryo pose. You're welcome to take any other variation that works better for your body if needed. I'm going to take my palms back, palms facing up, allowing my shoulders to relax. And 2 questions for you. What do you need to know or remember in this moment?
What do you need to know and remember in this moment? What soul messages are you receiving? What soul messages are you receiving? We're going to slowly inhale on up, back to seated. We're going to be taking Uttanasana Konasana, wide-legged forward fold. And as we do so, we're going to take a minute or two to journal in our journals. So grab your journals. We're going to go ahead and just take the legs out into a comfortable position. If you want to use a block to bring your journal on, to write on. And just writing down anything that comes to mind. Kind of a free writing, any insights you want to remember, anything from the practice. So finding a little stretch into the inner thighs as you do so. A few more moments here, and just know that you can continue this practice after we're finished today. A couple more breaths in our Uttanasana Konasana. Feel free to walk the palms forward if you want a little deeper variation. We're going to go ahead and inhale out of this. We're going to transition into a 90-90 seat or a Z-sit, some people like to call it. So we're going to start with that left leg forward, and the right leg is going to come back. It looks a little like this. Kind of have one leg at a perpendicular and the other one's kind of behind me like a Z shape. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this into a stretch and then a really deep twist. And so if the deep twist does not feel good in your body, or if you have low back issues, I don't encourage the deep twist. You'll just stay with the forward fold. So we're going to go ahead and just come down a little bit, kind of experiment to see what feels good here. You can push the hands away and just get a little more resistance into the stretch. So you should feel this anywhere into the left outer hip, maybe the inner thigh of the right leg, the lower back. Wherever you feel it is where you need it. One more full breath. And then we're going to go ahead and take the right hand into the arch of the right foot and kind of just push into that, just let it feel a little bit more resistance. And you're welcome to stay here. We're going to take that little bit deeper twist. So I'm going to be taking my left elbow into the arch of my right foot. And if things are going well here, you can press the palms together and you can push the palms and then really find a nice twist towards the right. Very deep twist, so again, only encouraged if you have a healthy low back and this feels good for you. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears, relaxing through the jaw, and just finding a little more length and space through the side bodies and the spine. 2 more deep full breaths. And then we'll gently
come back into our 90-90 sit, and then come back up. Good job. We're going to take that right leg forward into Janu Sirsasana. So the left foot will come onto the inside of the right thigh. You have a flex into the right foot. We're going to inhale the arm up. We're going to angle over that right leg and find somewhere to catch, whether that be the calf or the foot. Another deep inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, soften into the stretch. Again, another good one for the lower back, for the hamstring of the right leg. Some people feel it in the hips. Again, wherever you feel it is where you need it. Softening in, a couple more breaths. And we're going to inhale back up. We're going to go ahead and take the right leg forward for that 90-90 stretch, Z-sit. Getting nice and tall, and then we'll angle the body over the shin of that right leg, pushing the hands away, getting a little bit of resistance here. Again, just a gentle little stretch through the hip flexors, lower back. Then we'll draw the palms back, bringing the left hand into the left foot, the arch of the left foot, just getting a little more resistance there as you push in. And then option is stay here or take that deeper twist. I'm going to be taking my right elbow into the right foot, the arch area. And then I'm going to bring my palms together, and I'm going to resist here as I find a beautiful twist looking towards the left. A few more breaths here as you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, find a little more range of motion, softening through the jaw and the neck. One more full breath. And we're going to go ahead and come back to center into that 90-90 stretch. And then taking the left leg forward for Janu Sirsasana. The right foot will come into the inner thigh. Really sitting up onto the sit bones. We'll inhale the arms up. We'll angle over that left leg. Reach to where you can grab. Take another deep inhale with an extended spine to lengthen. And then soften in. A few more breaths here. Relaxing. Staying connected spiritually, just allowing this time to minister to your heart and soul, allowing yourself to connect in a special way. One more breath. We'll go ahead and slowly transition. We're going to bring both to a forward fold. If the hamstrings are tight, put a nice generous bend into the knees. We're going to go ahead and flex through the feet. We're going to inhale the arms up. We're going to extend the spine forward, reaching for something. Another deep inhale as you lengthen, and exhale. 5 full breaths. Again, you can keep that nice bend in the knees. You can even use a block for your head if you have a large space between the legs and the head. Two more full, complete breaths. We're going to go ahead and inhale all the way up. You want to make sure you have a block or a book nearby. We're going to be coming down onto our backs for supported bridge pose. So I'm going to go ahead and place a bend into my knees. I'm going to roll down onto my back, keeping the feet about hip width distance. I'm going to go ahead and bring that block underneath the lower back. So find a comfortable spot. So this is of supported bridge. You can stay here if this is feeling good for your body. Second option would be to extend a leg forward, keeping the heel on the floor to get an opening into the hip flexor. You can alternate sides with that, or if the low back is healthy, you can try legs at the same time. And then the third option would be taking the legs to the sky. You can always adjust the height of the block. So I'm going to take my block on the mid height, and I think I'm going to take my legs to the sky today. I kind of like to interlace my hands around the block and just rest here. Gentle inversion, a modified shoulder stand, or Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. Wherever you're at, we'll hold for another minute or two, really allowing the body to relax, allowing this time for you just to listen and receive. Three more full breaths. We're going to slowly place a bend into the knees wherever you're at, grounding the feet back down to the mat. If you have a block at a higher level, you're going to stair step down, so you don't want to adjust too quickly. Pausing there for a breath. And then slowly releasing the block from underneath the lower back. We're going to take our feet as wide as the mat. We're going to do a pinwheel twist if there's another twist you'd rather do. Take my knees over to the right. And then I'm going to push the blade of my left foot more into my mat or the floor, just getting a deeper opening, especially into that left hip flexor and hip. 5 full breaths here. Softening through the jaw and the face, letting the body relax. And then we'll inhale the knees back to center. We'll take the knees over to the left. And as you do so, if you're in the pinwheel twist, press more into the blade of that right foot and feel a little more opening into the hip flexor and the hip. 5 full breaths. We're going to inhale the knees back to center. We're going to hug the knees into the chest. If there's any other remaining stretches you would like to do, feel free to take them here. We're going to slide into Shavasana. And if you have two blocks, use them today just to place a little bit of weight onto the forehead to help relax the mind for Shavasana. So I'll demonstrate that for you. And then if you have a blanket, you can place it over the belly as well. So I'm going to take one block to hold my other block. You can watch me if you'd like. I'm going to grab my blanket just for a little onto my belly. And so I have this block right before my head here, or above my head. I'm going to take this other block I'm just going to let it rest onto my forehead. Wherever you'd like it, just that little gentle little weight. My forehead is very grounding for me. And then I'm going to drop into Shavasana. I'm going to allow my body to relax. My arms and legs are floppy. Adjusting how it's best for you. For Shavasana, you're always welcome to lie on your side or your belly even. Wherever you're at, letting the body be heavy and relaxed. And letting the mind relax. And letting the energetic, the spiritual body just take over. Shavasana. You are welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. If you're ready to transition, just noticing the breath. Coming back to your breath prayer. Maybe it's shifted and changed throughout this practice. Bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes. If you have the block on the forehead, you're gently going to release it off to the side. Taking a full body stretch if that feels good for your body. We're going to be transitioning by placing a bend into the knees and coming over into a fetal position. And just noticing here the effects of the practice. And the body relaxed, the mind calm, the spirit at peace. Knowing you can come here at any time, using this practice as a moving meditation, as deep devotion, as body prayer. Such a wonderful way to connect spiritually. Go ahead and use the strength of the arms to make our way into a comfortable seat. Once you find that comfortable seat, we'll take that Yana Mudra again. The thumb gently holding down the index finger, and the spirit holding down the ego. God, may I see you more. May I hear you more. May I know you more. May I say yes more to your guidance and your leading. We'll rest here for a few breaths of quiet reflection and meditation, fully integrating our practice. And drawing our hands into Heart Center Anjali Mudra. It's been a true honor and pleasure to guide you through this deep devotion body prayer practice. From the light within me, I honor and respect the light within you. Thank you for sharing your beautiful presence with me. From the light within me, I honor and respect the light within you. Walk in grace and peace and shine bright, my friend. Much love and namaste. You can tell through this practice that I'm full of light and love, so thank you for sharing that with me. Again, feel free to stay connected with me on my website, loveserveinspire.com.